Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a video covering what I'm keeping moving into 2024. There comes a time that I just become inundated with boxes, mice, pads, IEMs, etc. And it's really time to clean up and let a lot of things go. And I thought it would be cool to share with you guys because it kind of translates into what my top 5 is in terms of mouse pads, mice, IEMs, etc. and what I'm going to continually go back to and put time on and why. So it kind of translates into what my main Ergo mouse is, symmetrical mouse, things like that. I do want to show you guys that the new addition on my desk that will be staying here for probably forever is my Fantech NV7. This case is absolutely immaculate. It is beautiful. It was so easy to build in. The Fantech fans, I'll leave a link down below, but they only run off one cable, easy to connect. This entire build took me maybe an hour and a half or an hour. It was so exceptionally easy. They really did think of everything here. So shout out to Fantech for making an absolutely immaculate case with beautiful fans that are very high performing. Now, getting into what is new on my desk, you guys can probably see it already. I did get a new copy of the ULX. This copy has really nice build quality. The sides are not flexing on me with any normal amount of force that I use while using the mouse. The quality feels so different than the first one that it feels like an entirely different mouse, and what I'm very happy with right now. I'm going to put more time on this, and I will get another review out before the next batch drops on December 18th to kind of go over my thoughts and whether you guys should focus on that drop on the 18th. Right now, I'm playing really well with it on my new SkyPad, the Bros Mind X SkyPad collab. I love the design of this thing. It is really nice, and just that pop of color on my desk is exactly what I wanted. I love the collage artwork here and the kind of doodle style cartoon artwork. I love it right now, and I could not be happier with it. And it's really cool how they've done the numbers on the pad itself. So no one pad is similar to another because they all have unique numbers out of 500 on the top left. So pretty cool. I'm going to put the ULX to the side, but suffice to say the ULX will be staying on my desk right now. It is probably going to be in my top 5, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But for what it is one of a kind carbon fiber composite. Feels very good on this copy that I have. And in terms of symmetrical drops in 2023, with this build quality in my hand right now, I do think it is one of the best drops of 2023 for sure. Performance feels great, and I have really no qualms at all, except a little tiny issue I'll get into in the review again. The best symmetrical mouse of the year, surprisingly, and you guys probably saw this coming already with my last 2 videos, but the WLMouse. This company came out of nowhere. People were so skeptical, but this thing feels so damn good, both in performance and build quality. Magnesium, the switches, probably the best switch implementation on any symmetrical mouse drop this year, with those Omron opticals feeling so damn good. I have no wobble on Mouse 4 or Mouse 5, which I've seen a few complaints about, and Mouse 4 and Mouse 5 have barely any pre-travel and barely any post-travel. So they've done just a tremendous job on the build quality on this particular copy in purple. And for the price in magnesium with the internals and that paint job, I think it is an absolute home run. And this will be my pick for my favorite symmetrical mouse of 2023. And this will be a keeper on my desk. Out of my ergonomic mice, my top 2 right now are the Pulsar X-Lite V3 ES and the Vaxi Outset Wireless. The Vaxi is a better shape for me. I went over this in my review, but it just feels like a shape that was literally molded for my hand. It is so exceptionally comfortable and one that just performs so well for me. I do think that the click implementation is better on the Pulsar. I do have quite a bit of side flex still on Mouse 1. If I hit the mouse in a certain way, again, I can't necessarily feel it, but for overall shape and my personal performance, my number 1 is the Vaxi. My number 2 is the Pulsar X-Lite V3 ES, which is the most feature-packed mouse out of any that has released this year, with that screen on the bottom, driverless, really cool features at a nice weight balance with a massive battery for that 4K implementation. It feels really nice, and that metal scroll wheel is a really nice accent, a nice touch. So the Vaxi and the Pulsar will be staying on my desk. Out of the other ergonomic mice that I've tried, I did just get in the Fanatic Thorn by Lamzu. This is not my favorite ergonomic shape, but it is one of the better ergonomic shapes that have released this year. I like this better than the Razer Death Adder V3, but I can say that the shapes that I feel I'm performing better on are the Vaxi and the Pulsar X Lite V3 ES personally. I really do like the Lamzu in tack shooters, but for some reason in Apex Legends, I just find myself playing better on the Vaxi and the Pulsar. So the Fanatic is obviously something I'm going to continue to put time on, continue to test. I just got it in the other day. And I do want to see if I can maybe adjust my grip, because it really is just a beautiful mouse in terms of build quality, integrity. The switches feel great. The weight balance. Lamzu does a fantastic job on their mice, and this is definitely no exception. For now, I'm going to put this to the side because it is still something I'm testing along with the ULX. Next mouse that I really enjoy and will be in my top listing, especially for symmetrical mice that dropped this year, is the Pulsar X2 V2, now in 4K. This is just a shape that I perform very well on in medium. The small I perform well on too, but I do notice more comfort and more consistency on the medium. So this will be something that is in my top rankings right now. The G Pro Superlight 2, another symmetrical mouse. This is a mouse that I just feel every time I pick it up, I play exceptionally well on. And it's just that thing that if I'm ever having a bad day, I know I can pick it up and I know I'm going to play at my baseline. It's something that just feels comfortable, feels good, and it's like old reliable. I do like the implementation of the new switches, even though they are a little bit firmer and harder to press compared to the Omron opticals in the Beast X, but I really enjoy this particular mouse. And again, it's something that I know I'm going to pick up and I'm going to play at my baseline. So this is my top 5 of the year right now for mouse releases and the 5 mice that are going to be staying on my desk. The ULX I still have to test it, but I think it will make its way into the top 5 and knock one of these mice out. I'm just not too sure where I'm going to place it yet, but I think for sure, I'm 99.9% sure the ULX will probably be in my top 5, and I'll kind of put that in my review when I'm done testing the new version, the new copy of the ULX that I have. Getting to the mice that just did not make the cut, I've got the MC Hose and the Xiaopin Z1 Pro. I'm going to be getting rid of these mice. They are things that to me felt good in terms of build quality for mice that came out of China this year. But overall, these 5 mice, I'm just going to be putting all my time into the stuff over here. I don't find myself picking these up enough to justify leaving them around, taking up space. So these 2 will be in the pass category that I will be getting rid of. The Fantech Helios 2, well, I did get the 4K dongle. The performance is great. It is just a shape that I've used. It feels so familiar and so similar to me because it copies that S2 shape. And the optical implementation after using something like the Beast X and the Sora, it does fall behind for me. It feels a little bit clunky compared to the Omrons in the Beast X. Overall, though, a really nice mouse, particularly at the price point, especially if you're a fan of a very safe S2-esque shape. I think it could work for a lot of people. For me, again, it's not going to encroach upon the time that I'm putting into these things, and the Helios 2 will go to the side, and I will be getting rid of the Helios 2. Because the ULX already in this new version, I can already sense it's going to far surpass the Starlight 12. I'm going to get rid of my Starlight 12 10s in medium. My Ninjutsu Sora 4K, while I love this mouse, I just found myself playing better on the Pulsar X2 V2 and the Beast X, and pretty much these mice over here. I love the Ninjutsu Sora 4K, but because it's not going to get a lot of game time, I will probably be getting rid of my Ninjutsu Sora 4K. The Zowie EC2 CW, it is so close to the Pulsar X Lite V3 ES. The V3 ES just being so much more fun to use. It looks so much cooler with that aesthetic. The weight balancing, and the performance the features I just enjoy more than the Zowie EC2 CW, and with how close they are, I'm going to be getting rid of my EC2 CW. I do have a custom EC1 CW, and this is a very unique mouse because there's not really anything that encroaches upon the size of this behemoth. I do have it customized. That is a little imprint of my daughter's hand. So this is definitely a mouse, if not just for the aesthetics of having that custom job on my desk. Having that size when I want it is nice, so I will be keeping my EC1 CW. The Ponage Stormbreaker, I have a custom colorway here, not a custom colorway, but a limited colorway, the collab with Nacho Customs. This thing just looks so cool from an aesthetic standpoint. I do have to say that the Vaxi and the X-Lite V3 ES are just things that I enjoy much, much more than the Ponage Stormbreaker right now, but because of this unique colorway, I will be keeping this particular copy, if not for nothing, again, for the aesthetics of it. I do have the Lethal LA1. I think this, for me, is a very unique shape, one that feels really nice for a symmetrical mouse. I think that Dylan from Lethal has done really nicely with this. It is unfortunate the issues that they had with their factory in correcting the issues that they had pointed out early on and some of the other issues with the factory. But because of its uniqueness and its overall feel, again, I will be keeping the LA1. I do have a regular original G Pro Superlight, again, customized, a imprint of my daughter's hand. For the aesthetics, I will be keeping this, but not something that I will be using compared to or over the G Pro Superlight 2. I have the Asus ROG Harp Ace. I kept this and I kind of go back to it every once in a while just because it's pretty unique with how long it is. And I think the performance of this, even though it is only 1000 hertz, just feels great. But because I definitely don't see myself putting a whole lot of time on this thing, now with all of these great releases in 2023, this mouse will be in the going pile. I do have a custom Model D Pikachu version that Nacho Customs did because of its uniqueness and its aesthetics. I will be keeping this as well. I also enjoy the performance of it, but I am enjoying the X-Lite V3 ES a little bit more, so that will be kept probably for the aesthetics, but if I ever wanted to pick up a similar shape, I'd probably go for the Pulsar X-Lite V3 ES. And I've got a wired Death Adder V3. You can see I've barely put time in on this thing. It's just been collecting dust. This will absolutely be going into the leave pile. I'm just not into wired mice anymore in 2023 with all of these very nice, well-performing mice in 2023. The A950 Magnesium, I just find myself really enjoying both the G Pro Superlight 2 and the Beast X mouse a whole heckload more. The A950 is a very safe shape, especially if you're somebody who enjoys something along the lines of how safe the G Pro feels. I think it's a great mouse, but because I'm enjoying the Beast X Magnesium mouse a whole lot more, the A950 will be going in the out the door pile as well. So you can kind of see the things that I probably see myself playing on and putting the most time in on are these 6 mice on the mousepad right now. The G Pro Superlight, Vaxi Outset, Beast X, ULX, X2 V2, and the X-Lite V3. These other mice, again, I might put some time into, but this is really what I'm enjoying right now the most, and I think are the 6 best releases of 2023. And again, guys, this is not a video saying that these are in any way what is superior on the market. This is just what I find myself playing my personal best on. This is what I find myself moving into 2024, actually picking up and putting a whole lot of time on. I know that this video covering mice actually took quite a while. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to separate out the mousepad video and put that in its own little category and do a supplemental video to this one in the near future this week. Again, I don't have a firm order on these right now for my top 6. I'm not too sure yet where the ULX is going to fall, but this copy, again, the build quality, so different than my first quality, and I just need to emphasize that because it actually really does feel quite good in the form that I have it right now. And as you guys can imagine, in this video, you guys already saw 2 different glass pads. The next video covering pads, which will be part 2, is going to cover a lot of pads. I have a mountain of pads that I will be getting rid of. And then after the pad video, since these videos are actually taking more time than I expected, we'll have the audio, what IEMs, what headphones, amp decks, etc. I'll throw that into one video as well. But for this one, guys, that is it. I hope it helped. If it did, leave a sub to the channel. See you guys in the next review. Peace.